This is Seawolves. Storm or not.
Welcome back to Seawolves Storm or Not, and our last full week of classes. I'm John Tafe, and this has been quite a semester. As a reminder, this broadcast is a collaboration between the students of the School of Communication and Journalism and their peers at the School of Marine and Atmospheric Sciences. This is our first show back from Thanksgiving, and boy did I have some great food. I piled my mashed potatoes up with gravy so that it looked like a volcano erupting. Not unlike Hawaii's Mauna Loa, which started spewing lava last night. Was this a psychic inspiration or perhaps seismic? More than 5,000 miles away, this is the first eruption since 1984. The shield volcano makes up more than half of the island of Hawaii. At this point, the area is in a red warning stage. They will continue to monitor, and we will keep you updated and remind you to consult your local authorities for information and safety procedures. To find out what's happening on our island, Long Island that is, let's turn to Sam Lankowitz. Sam?
Thanks, John. Well, we are in our last full week of class at Seawolves, and we are starting off with a great Monday. Even though New York is past its peak foliage, we found this beautiful tree with yellow leaves on it to do our forecast in front of today. It's mostly sunny, there actually is a bit of clouds, and it's pretty breezy with a northwest wind around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Temperatures will reach a high of 54 degrees today, which actually the November average is around 47 degrees, and to compare it with last year's temperatures, November 28th, 2021 was a high of 41 degrees, so we are definitely above normal this year. However, temperatures will drop to a cooler 33 degrees overnight into tomorrow, so definitely those winter temperatures that we're used to feeling this time of year. To hear more about the rest of the week's forecast, stay tuned for the 7-day later in the program. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Sam. It's cold and flu season, so hopefully the breezy day will sweep away all of our germs. To find out about all things sick and icky, we have Kat Pocacci reporting. Kat?
It's that time of year again, where diseases and sicknesses are spread, especially on a college campus. Since the start of the semester, changes have been made in terms of the COVID-19 protocols students need to follow.
When we look at numbers of COVID cases among our students, the way we know that now is students do self-report to us if they have tested positive. Those numbers in the late August timeframe when the semester started were around 100, but have continued to decline. And on average for the last 4 to 5 weeks, they've been between 15 and 20 students.
Some students are still choosing to wear masks for their own safety, even though they are no longer mandated. However, many do not.
Honest, and maybe this sounds bad, I do it more socially than I do in terms of thinking about COVID. Like if I walk into a room and everyone's wearing a mask, I'll wear a mask. But if like no one's wearing a mask, I won't wear a mask.
We went around asking students about how comfortable they were being back on campus with most people not wearing a mask. Some also included how prevalent they believed COVID was on campus.
I feel honestly pretty safe. I feel like everyone's still following somewhat of like a personal guideline. I feel like the impact of COVID already has already hit everyone's mental psyche. So everyone's thinking about it and everyone's still conscious of it. And I feel pretty safe and stuff like that, especially with vaccinations and stuff like that.
I feel like now it's not as much as it was before. Like I hear less of my friends getting COVID cases, and overall I feel like also less people are wearing masks as well.
I feel completely fine. I've boosted, I'm vaccinated. I mean, I don't really think about COVID in my day-to-day life.
Despite many people being comfortable on campus, COVID still has disrupted many lives recently.
Yeah, because it was at the very, very beginning of the semester, it was really hard to manage all my classes because everything was new. So I had to keep track of my own work, but also be mindful that I can't just be very, very comfortable. Like normally, if there wasn't COVID, we would just hang out in the living room, or we would hang out together, and we would just I would keep the door open, and stuff and use the kitchen. Everything was like very free, but because there was COVID and everybody was gone, I just kept to myself for like 2 weeks, and it was a little hard because then I couldn't really talk to anybody in my suite.
However prepared or unprepared the Stony Brook community is for a potential COVID surge this upcoming winter, there's another threat that looms above us, the seasonal flu. Experts are saying that this flu is gaining strength, especially in the New York area. Doctors are preparing for a potentially rough season. The official Stony Brook website states that this strain can be especially serious and even fatal. They're advising that all students get their flu vaccinations, which are available for no cost at the Student Health Center. For Seawolves Storm or Not, this is Catherine Procacci. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Kat. It makes sense that sickness is creeping up and our energy winds down towards the end of the semester. To find out if storms are going to be complicating our lives, let's go to the 7-day forecast with our own Skylar Day Harmon. Skylar?
Thanks, John. We already talked about the weather today. It's going to be pretty breezy and even breezier here at the top of the rock, courtesy of Earthcam. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we have a high of 48 degrees with a low of 40 degrees. A nice sunny day expected. Wednesday, a high of 60 degrees with a low of 35. Some showers throughout the day, so we'll keep an eye on that. On Thursday, we have a high of 45 degrees with a low of 30 degrees. Nice sunny day Thursday and Friday. Friday, very similar temperatures, highs in the mid-40s, lows in the mid-30s. Saturday and Sunday, possibly some cloudy days, but should still have some nice sunny moments. A high of 50 degrees on Saturday with a low of 45. Sunday, a high of 50 and a low of 36. Now, Wednesday is November 30th, which marks the end of hurricane season. Does that mean we won't have a hurricane after? Most likely, but that's the statistical likelihood, but you know, anything's possible. And Thursday marks the first day of December. Back to you at the desk, John.
Thanks, Skylar. We've covered hurricane and flu season, but we have yet to talk about my favorite one, the holiday season. I'm a big winter weather person, and I love skiing. Over the past week, many resorts have opened. This Friday, you can tune into the School of Communication and Journalism's Holiday Spectacular, where you will see Skylar Day Harmon and Kat Procacci anchoring, and a bunch of our other favorite Seawolves Storm or Not members, including One Son and Justin. And one more thing before we go. We've been paying special attention to what's going on in Ukraine. We continue to watch Ukrainian soldiers defending their country in the cold, and thanks to our Ukrainian student, Irina, for bringing this pile of candy. That's all we have for you today. We will see you next week for our final 2022 Seawolves Storm or Not. I am John Tafe. Have a wonderful week.
This is Seawolves Storm or Not.